man. It's a lot of stuff going on, man, and
Yes, sir.
we're gonna try to cover some topics today, and kind of see where it takes us. See what we got here. The first one, I don't do needles. I don't do needles. Pretty much centered around the vaccine. Case in point, why is the vaccine becoming more and more mandated when the recovery rate is so high?
People who are vaccinated cannot answer this question. It's actually a great question. It's crazy because I've had this discussion with a couple people who are vaccinated, and when I tell them that they literally have A+ rate in recovery, I mean,
You said A+?
It's an A+. It's an A+.
Is that the highest you can
better?
get?
You can't get much better than that, fellas. But honestly, the only much better you can get is 3% because it's a 97% recovery rate. So
wow.
it's if you don't have any pre-existing conditions, you are having a 97% rate in recovery. Like, that's OD for me personally. So, and honestly, for me, if I'm hearing that, I'm thinking, why not build my immune system naturally instead of some man-made thing? Right. I mean, I think that would be common sense.
Change your diet.
Yeah, right? Change your diet.
Exercise.
Clearly, there is enough in the tank to, to battle this. And I
feel like it.
I'm up on the position, like, really, no one should be mandating any type of medical treatment. I mean, even people who are terminally ill, they are on their deathbed, they should have the choice on whether or not they want the medical treatment. And you see this with a lot of religions, even like Jehovah's Witness won't accept blood transfusions, it's life-saving treatment. So this is a preventative measure, and it's being mandated. It's being required to enter gyms, restaurants, to be employed, stretching across so many aspects of life, to travel, right?
Yeah.
To go to school.
Everything. I can't even.
It's really weird.
It is.
It's super weird. It's giving people an ultimatum.
Yeah, it's a terrible ultimatum. That's the worst part. Anytime you really give ultimatums, they usually are bad options. But this is like one of the worst ultimatums I think I've ever heard, because it's like,
for real though.
It's like one of those what is it? The cut off the hand and spider face. Like it's like there is no win with this one. Like, you lose your job, you can't leave the country or go anywhere that you like going, or someone has to inject you with an experimental vaccine. Right? We were just watching the video the other day, I think. Mm-hmm. And it was like, the lady was like, it's important for everyone to use the term experimental before you put the word vaccine. And I'm like,
it has not been proven.
Words matter. Words matter. She was like, that was her big point throughout the whole thing. And it was like, you know what? We're losing a word war against people who are calling someone who might say a comment like what I just said will be considered an anti-vaxxer. Yeah. And it's like, I'm not anti-vax at all. If anyone cared to ask, like, sit down and just say, hey, Brandon, what's your opinion on this? Are you anti-vax? It's like, no, I'm not anti-vax at all. I am pro-choice.
Yeah. You know what, though? The weird part, though, is to even consider someone to be an anti-vaxxer when they're against this, when in all actuality, this is not even a vaccine. This is not even been. It's not even been. It's not. You can't actually say that this is a vaccine if there's been no testing done. There's no proof that it actually works. People who take it are still susceptible to receive this virus. They can still transmit the virus. So at what point does this actually have any of the components in which a vaccine has?
Exactly.
I think it's just a word. At this point, we'll just throw a vaccine on it. You guys can take it.
They can look at it. Right. Like, that's the bow on top. Like, I'm going to give you a turd, but when I put this bow on it, now it's a gift.
That's crazy.
It's terrible.
So
that's it.
To really address it though, because I think we kind of fleshed out the idea of, like, in terms of like the madness of it though. Nah, for real, that was perfect. All right, we are back. Had a little bit of technical difficulties, but we're gonna keep it rolling. Yeah, so I think we like fleshed out the idea a lot, right? And so, but why is the vaccine becoming more mandated? Like, why do y'all think that's actually happening? Like, what's pushing that? What's driving that right now? Is it like people fear? Is it people want to get back to work and they just really just want to travel genuinely? They trust the government. Like, what do y'all think it is?
To be honest, I think that the real reason we won't fully understand it, but I think superficially, it's just a way of getting people to buy something that's making a lot of money. Vaccines are making a lot of money off of people getting vaccinated. Vaccine companies, excuse me. So money is always, at the forefront of most policies, legislation, anything that goes through. But the deeper reason, I don't even know if we'll fully understand that yet. It may come out later. But money is going to be there.
I definitely want to just the money. I feel like this has been the biggest money maker that you could possibly see. When it comes down to just people getting vaccinated, that right there in itself has made so much money. The masks that people are buying, the amounts of tissue, hand sanitizers that people are buying, the fact that people are no longer carpooling when they're going places. The fact that all of these different delivery services are making so much more money now because people are just delivering just people's cleanliness. Now, I'm not going to say this is a problem because people are just being a lot cleaner, in which they should have already been.
Right.
But man, the money this whole ploy that they released. If I would, but my whole problem is I would be a lot happier if it was just a complete placebo in which this vaccine that they're calling it didn't do anything. If they would just inject water into people's arms and called it a day.
Which I'm sure some people get.
The fact that it's taking people out, to me, is the problem.
Yeah.
Fact that it's not even something to laugh about. It's taking people out.
True.
And it's taking people out, whereas you will be fine if you just fought this off.
Yeah.
You'll be fine. But instead, you take it out. They're not running any blood tests first to see how your body will respond to this chemical that they're injecting into your body.
True.
They're just pumping it into you.
Yeah.
And then saying that you're going to be down. Don't drive on your way back.
You just brought up another good point with this. People are, unfortunately dying from this. They were saying that what I guess the primary thing that the vaccine does is, reduces or it makes the symptoms less, it lessens the symptoms that you get. So if you're, the cough, the lack of oxygen, everything that you'll normally get if you fully experience the virus, it's lessened, right? Now, because we know that it's not going to eliminate, it's not going to make it, so you can't contract it, you can't transmit it, which should be the primary functions of the vaccine. But the fact that it lessens the symptoms means that you might have someone who's infected or who has the virus around you, and they're not exhibiting any symptoms. So now you have an increased chance of getting this because this person appears asymptomatic.
Right.
This is I think this is a worse scenario.
It's like a setup.
It's a setup. Now you're looking. Now you're around. Maybe you're around someone who's they feel confident that they're vaxxed, they're fully vaxxed, and all of this, and they have COVID, and you're now breathing. You're around that too. I don't know. Baffling.
I can't stand the whole fully vaxxed title at this point in my life. That's it's being put in my face way too much.
That's a thing.
It's a thing.
It's like
people putting this on their profile pictures. They're putting it on their dating apps. It's a quality. It's a personality trait. Being fully vaxxed.
Yes.
I'm just okay. I don't care.
I guess it's not this. I guess they join is fully vaxxed.
To be honest,
I really don't care. But I forgot to bring this up. People will forget. I don't understand how people forgot this in such a hurry. When this virus first was introduced to us, they were saying they were never going to be able to come up with a vaccine.
Right.
I feel like everybody missed that point.
Right.
And 365 days later, we have something for you guys.
Because
do you trust it? Sure, I'll get it. Then I don't know which one they recall first, but these joints started getting recalled. People are still condoning the vax, and I don't understand why. There's three different types of vaccines?
And the primary ones, Pfizer, Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson.
Why are there three different types of the same vaccine? Because it doesn't work.
That's true. I mean, it's either that or it has to be money, right? Because it's like the same reason there's multiple types of Jordans. It's not because one pair of Jordan actually doesn't work, I would say, just to cut away from that, but it's because the money. It's not that like, oh, these are all shoes, but it's more money if he releases different models. The same way it's more money for them, whether it works or not, if we just release more of these.
It doesn't work. The side effects that come from this, some of them are life-threatening. People have had heart palpitations from this. People have been having leg seizures from this.
A leg seizure?
Leg seizures.
I didn't even know parts of your body could seize on its own. I thought you just had a seizure.
People that I know have dealt with this.
Crazy.
People that I know have dealt with this.
Let me step my medical game.
Now, somebody who condoned the vax that I know got it in March. I spoke to them in June. I said, "Yeah, I'm not for the vax." She says, "Yeah, well, you're not taking proper precautions. You need to get this." And I was just like, "Well, it has bad side effects. They're fake." I'm just like, so you just think thousands of people are lying because these are open forum places where people are just describing the events that's going on with them. She's like, yeah, people like to lie. I was like, what about you? Do you have any side effects since you've had it? She said, well, I've been having migraines since I've gotten it.
Since she's gotten it?
Right.
She's been having migraines since March.
We were just talking about headaches. It was like, yo, I'm dehydrated. I was like, yeah, that's the only time I get them.
Not headaches,
Had some
migraines.
Great.
But
So-
since March.
You're having migraines, not headaches, migraines, and you're still back in this joint? I don't understand. Are they paying you?
Yo.
Right.
Are they paying you? Because I at that point, I didn't understand. I realized the conversation wasn't going anywhere. Because if this joint is harming you and you're still for it, there's nothing I can do to convince
What
you.
part of the
This
game
joint
is that?
Still harming you.
That's what part of the game is that? What shit?
I don't know. I really do wish the best for her.
ridiculous.
I really do
That's
wish the
what
best for her. That example in particular, I'm not gonna name the name, but if they see this, they'll know exactly who I'm
You
talking
know who
about.
you are.
I mean,
No, I'm just playing.
What I wanted to get into was the, we were talking about the different types is coming from different companies. There's different ingredients in the vaccines. How do you say that this is a vaccine that cures this particular illness and it has different ingredients in each one? Like, it's just so it's so obvious.
Can I play
that this
devil's
is-
advocate?
Please.
It's more than one way to skin a cat. Now what?
It's more than one way to skin a cat. Okay.
Must be a sick cat.
So we have multiple cures for this illness, and yet still people are contracting this illness and dying.
Exactly.
I ain't say I was a good devil's advocate.
Alright, so
I shot my shot. I shot my shot. Everybody who out there who pro-vax, I did it.
We're trying to give
it's all for you.
Listen.
Yeah, I just want to
If
understand.
you guys know the answer, leave some comments. Let us know what you guys think because I mean, we're trying to figure it out.
So I'm curious to know, right? So when people do get injected with whatever this experiment is,
Cocktail.
yeah, this cocktail,
Yeah.
essentially they're getting some form of the virus.
Mm-hmm.
Now, once they get the form of the virus, you don't lose viruses. So anytime that you test, you now have this virus. So in turn, would that then increase the numbers of how many people have now contracted the virus?
And tested positive.
Right. And then now after that, you are going around the people who have not gotten the vaccine of course they're gonna get the virus because you have the virus.
It's kind of like how DJ said.
That's what I said.
It's
yeah.
it's the
Go
needle
around.
in a haystack. The idea, like I don't care where you put the needle at, it's a chance that I'm gonna get poked by it. Is the problem.
Yes.
So I'm not trying to play this
That's
game.
a real problem.
Yeah, and
I
that's
don't
what
wanna
was
find
saying.
this.
Of course you're going to get the
When you
virus.
was talking about
but-
people putting this stuff on their social medias and advertising it like I'm fully vaxxed, and this is like now
You're
I'm
the problem.
now I'm thinking no, continue doing this so I can identify you all because
Yo,
I might
a
have
fact.
to like to be honest, if you're taking it upon yourself to take this experimental medicine and you don't know what the side effects are, the side effects could be also contagious.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I know you should know, and we all should know what is contagious around us from history and what the stuff that we know.
That's a good
This
point.
is not something that we know. So
Yeah. This, you know what, COVID, at the end of the day, what this might actually do is end racism. Because all at the end we'll just have anti-vaxxers and pro-vaxxers, I guess. I don't know. But it might bring the world together. That might be the one plus that we see from this vaccine is just that,
I hope for the best.
hey, now we're all friends. Because it's us versus the people who got this shot.
Right.
But I did want to say one other thing before we move on, though.
Sure.
About the money thing, because although I had looked it up because the vaccine is free, right? Everyone can just go out and get injected. It's like a hotel party. They don't really know who's supposed to be there. It's just based on the guy who's letting them in at the door. So, but people think, oh, it's free, you might as well get it. I hate when people say stuff like that because it really shows a level of ignorance that you have not actually thought through the comment that is coming out of your mouth. There is nothing, I repeat, there is nothing in this world that is free.
That is good.
No. Period. I've never heard of anything free. At some point, somebody paid for the thing that you have or you're using. They just turned everything into a commodity, right? The last vestige is probably air. And even they charge old people for that, which is just so ridiculous. But
Right. True.
I'm going to sidestep get off my soapbox. But the fact that people say it's free, it's like ridiculous. You know this was funded by our tax dollars. And I'm not saying it as a special case. This happens to us continuously as people, right? Things you don't agree with are funded for by your tax dollars. You believe a disproportionate amount of people in your neighborhood are getting targeted by the police and locked up? Your tax dollars pay for it. You think they aren't cleaning up the streets and there's more trash on your street than normal and it should be? Your tax dollars are not paying for them to do that. They're paying for someone else to clean up another street that's already fine. Like, so I'm not saying it's like a one-off case, but I just want people to understand, like, when we talk about this money thing, and is it, how we said the companies are making money off of it? They're making money because we pay them to make something that half the country doesn't even agree that we need. That's insanity that they made billions of dollars off of us and we didn't even want this thing. But I digress, man. But I think it is, I don't know how long it's going to continue, but moving on, why do people who've been vaccinated feel like they're saving lives? Oh yeah, I think we kind of touched that a little bit.
Yeah, I think honestly, I think that was an excellent segue to the I was talking about the next topic, but as far as that one, I think that it's just a delusion. I mean, we already talked about the wordplay. This being a call the vaccine when we clearly have. We're laying it out like it's not something that you can call a vaccine, and we have to put the experimental in front of that.
Yes, sir.
People feel like they're saving lives because they're calling it a vaccine. I'm vaccinated, so I'm immune. I'm safe. I'm making you safer. No. If you said that you had an experimental vaccine, you would know. Okay, I'm not saving anyone because I'm trying maybe, or maybe I intend to, but you can't say that you are because it's an experiment.
Right. This is true. I agree. What do y'all think?
I mean, I agree. You can't say that. I don't understand how me getting a needle is saving somebody's life. I don't understand it. Especially, I mean, personally, I've been around people that have had it, the actual virus. I've never gotten it, thankfully, thank God. And I'm not gonna lie, I've been like heavily affiliated with one of them, and she had it, but I didn't get it. I got tested, it never happened. And I'm just saying, like, if I'm showing natural immunity to the joint, why would I get the needle? I'm not trying to do that. I'm not trying to jeopardize my immune system if it's already actively working. I've been around people that have had it. I haven't contracted it, thankfully. So I don't think that getting a needle is saving anybody's life. People can believe what they want to believe at this point, because I feel like it's always going to be two ends of this spectrum, and we're going to be at odds.
True. Me personally, when people say that they're saving lives, I think that what it comes down to is people are just afraid, and they don't really know what to do. But they feel as though if they do nothing, then they're a part of the problem as well. I personally think that it's a scary place to be in, though, where we're at right now, where people are more afraid to lose their jobs than they are to inject an experimental shot into their healthy bodies that have known side effects. And, like, how do we get to this place? You have a perfectly healthy... Think about any time you're watching TV and these commercials, and a new medicine pops up on the screen, and then you gotta wait after they showed people running on the beach. You gotta listen to all of the side effects that they have, and it's like a joke that you would actually try. But the kicker is, it works for these people because they are experiencing conditions that are so bad that they're thinking that, you know what, anything has to be better than what I'm going through. Now, people are they have healthy bodies and are willing to take a chance to inject this shot into them and potentially take on these side effects when they're healthy. It's insane.
It's a rough one, man.
Great point.
Yeah, I think so. So how long do y'all think this might go on? How long is this whole thing that we're experiencing? I guess I thought it was 1 year. Now we're in year 2 and
going into year 3.
Yeah,
I'm hoping not too much longer. I miss Canada.
Yeah, that's a fact, yo. I've been missing the heck out of Canada. Y'all know I was in Canada all the time. Like, that was, man, I miss going to basketball games. Like, for real, that is like a major problem right now.
Yeah.
And so, but
the ultimatum, you take this experiment or you can't have fun. You can't go to work.
Right.
You can't go to school.
That's a time out. Don't stand in the corner.
They're crazy.
I miss cruises too, man. Shout out cruises, man. Everybody got stuck on the boat. That's my dream. I'm just playing. Cruises are fun though. I would like to get stuck on the boat.
Before we change topics, let me just say that our condolences. I'll let y'all start laughing. Our condolences to all the lives that were lost because of this virus. We're just taking the stance of because I understand people do have pre-existing conditions, and this is why they would choose to get the vaccine. That's a little bit different. I'm talking about healthy individuals with no types of illnesses or anything like that. But once again, we're not. It's a certain population that this is going out to. I feel like, it's just.
Now you hit the nail on the head. You know.
Yeah.
You don't want to. It's not. I mean, it's a sensitive topic all around. Lives are
being
really
lost,
lives are being affected, and you know, our position is our position. You know, other people have their own, and you know, it's not to take away anything from, you know, anyone else. Like, you know, definitely second that condolence.
Yeah, sure. I'm 100% with it. I think. And again, just to make it very clear, I don't think anyone at this table is anti-vax. I don't think I haven't heard one person really just express how we're anti-vax. It's just literally we're choice. We're for the choice.
Yeah.
We just may not agree with it. You know, we happen not to agree with it, but I'm all for it. If that's what you feel is the best thing, go ahead. But I don't like the mandatory factor behind it.
Right.
Because then we get away from choice, then we get away from options, then we get towards someone's livelihood being affected. Forget traveling. If I guess you can't go to Canada, that's not the worst thing in the world, but my job, I need that part to work out for me. Exactly. If my job is going to Canada, okay, yeah, that becomes a problem. But for majority of people, you don't have to travel a bunch to go to your job. You just have to be able to do your everyday life things. And when it starts closing down businesses and small businesses get shut down, that type of stuff becomes a problem for me. So I love that piece right there.